The following is brought to you in part by System Blue.
Just about to play for some cool high schoolers. About to throw it down. They're going to show us some stuff. We're going to show them some stuff. It's going to be fun.
It's basically it's a high school marching band from Oregon, Wisconsin. That competes in a summer circuit called MACBDA. So it's basically a competitive high school marching band that tours in the summer. You know, much like a drum corps, but it's all high schoolers. For the last few years at the Whitewater Drum Corps show, we've tried to organize a night lot. This is the first time Blue Devils have been to the show in a long time, so we really wanted to get in touch. I mean, obviously, if you're a drummer, especially if you're a high school drummer or a drummer involved in the marching arts, Blue Devils are like as big a heroes as these kids have. To be able to get up close and personal and see the way they not just play but interact with each other, it's really exciting for the kids. And I think for a lot of them, they never get to be right next to the sound either. It's just a really awesome opportunity. It's like you get to drum with the Blue Devils for one night.
An integral part of any corps is the drumline, the rhythmic engine that supplies the raw and emotional energy that drives each production. Their tireless work ethic and particular attention to detail requires an inhuman level of focus and endurance.
Kind of everyday life as a member of the Blue Devils drumline, it's very demanding, to say the least.
For us, it's a lot of drumming. We drum all day.
We work really hard. Get beat up a lot, you know, really striving to work for that same goal all together.
It's better to match our sound with someone different than we normally stand next to. Basically, everyone has a different touch to the snare drum. Everyone plays a little bit differently to the head, so it's kind of nice to see how different people play so that you can have an overall better concept of how the line plays together.
While this part of the ensemble is responsible for maintaining the tempo of the show, the Blue Devils drumline is widely known for its musical prowess and highly skilled rhythmic acrobatics, punctuated by an innovative display of talent that is both astounding and awe-inspiring all at once.
The Blue Devils drumline is about playing notes on top of notes and just seeing like how much we can push the envelope, not just about like what we're playing, but the physical demand we put on top of what we're doing.
We have a lot of demanding sections in the drill according to what the formation actually is, so like the listening situation changes a lot. The opener of the show, we have a drum feature right from the get-go, super fast, making our way to the front of the field.
It starts off with this crazy bass break that the basses are just splitting all kinds of notes.
And they're in the front of the form, and so it's up to the guys in the back to kind of take that tempo, and then we come in with a shot on 4-and, and that's probably one of the hardest attacks to get, is that 4-and. It's because we're listening to the bass drum sound in front of us, and then we have to go with the duts behind us.
And then we weave in between the bass drums as they go backfield, and we come in, we just start playing a whole bunch of 16th notes.
And then after that, we have this halted section. There's rim, rim, 3, 3, 3, 3, and still just 16th notes with different sticking.
And to add on top of that difficulty, as always, we add in moving our bodies.
And that kind of changes the sound just a little bit too. So we really need to be nails on tempo and nails on listening back. And then it finally ends with this big roll, shat, doom, 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 and then it's just high notes, high sticking, play through the head, and finally finish with a stick toss through the drum. You know, head up to the audience, look back, charge back field.
This year we have this intense quad feature that happens right at the end of the second movement. Everything's sort of musically winding down, and the quads sort of have this little moment, this last little flash before the end of it. We all come in and we have these cold attack rolls where one guy plays, and then the next guy adds on top of that, and then the first guy comes out, and then another guy adds on top of that, and then we all halt. And then we sort of wind it down rhythmically, and we start to do a little bit of a slowdown right to the end of a phrase, where we play and then we have a little flip, and then there's a little ding from the pit right at the end of it.
So the sequence on the stage, everyone has all their own stick tricks, and again, from an audience perspective, you may not know what's going on. But what Andrew does at the very beginning, before he's even on the stage, he takes his stick and he just throws it as high as he possibly can. And then we got Brandon, he kind of sets the tempo, does this little stick flip thing when he plays some eighth notes on the drum head. And then Sean and Zeem get up there and they do a little stick juggling act. And in the meantime, Kaito's on there and he's just balancing one stick on top of another stick. I come up and I do a little stick flash thing where I throw the stick, and then I throw the stick with my left hand up into the air, and then I catch it with my right. Adam comes on last, and he does this thing where he sweeps his stick under his leg and catches it behind his head. And then right after that, it's just, Brandon has this pickup, one, buzz, biggity, biggity, ba, and then it's just snare break time. Overall personality of the Drumline.
We know how to get down to business, and then when we're off the field, eating or just hanging out, we know how to have fun.
We just try and relax, and we don't get too much in each other's faces, and we try and just have fun.
You gotta make sure you eat healthy. That baby.
We all want to get to the same end goal, and no one wants to make someone else feel bad. So we'll kind of use that sense of humor that we have to kind of keep our spirits up while at the same time, you know, trying to get the book cleaner through that.
Characters are the beating heart of any film. But a 12-minute drum corps production isn't enough to provide a concise backstory for the members of the Blue Devils in Fellniesque. The solution? A pre-show sequence where the members transform into someone else entirely through an intriguing collage of sound and motion that is similar to being on set during the opening moments of one of Fellini's movies.
We kind of get to become our own character, and we get to put that into the show. They gave us a kind of like guidelines for something to stay within, but coming up with your own character, that's all on you. I run out of the form and I start to do some hip-hop dancing and a little bit of moonwalk in there. That all came to be when we were all just hanging out on the field, learning new stuff to the show. And then the baseball field that was right next to us ended up playing some music, and we all started to jam out to it. We were all just doing a bunch of dance moves, and then one of our drill designers came up to me and was just like, "Hey, what was that dance move that you were doing?" And it was just, so then I started to do the shuffle and the T-step and all that stuff. So then he's just like, "Yeah, do that. I like that. It makes me laugh. So just put that in the show." So what we're trying to put into the pre-show is that we're all on a movie set. So some of the characters that we have come up with are someone going around kind of like with a snapshot view. There's a couple of people that are pushing blocks or some sort of inanimate object to make it look like they're moving something around on the backstage. So there's people just pulling ropes, people that are just looking at the time just to make sure that they're on time. We have people changing light bulbs. They'll just reach up and see that something's broken, or somebody will point it out to them, then they'll go over and change the light bulb for them. All these things are just things that go on just on the backstage of a movie set.
It seems fitting then that the world of film and drum corps are strangely familiar, both requiring their cast and creators to work as a cohesive unit in order to achieve each goal at the highest degree. And this group of 150 young men and women seek to transform the field into a stage where dreams come true. A performance where the magic of cinema and drum corps merge as one. And as they perfect this transformation, the members continue to write the script of their journey that is not just worth watching, but worth living. Next week on Inside BD360.
My name is Gordon Goodwin. I'm a composer here in Los Angeles, and for the first time in my career, late in the career, I got asked to write some music for this fine organization. Even though some of my previous material has been adapted for this genre, this is the first time I've had a chance to take the pencil to the paper and create something. It's a collaborative medium. You've got the way it's staged and the way everything else, the pit and everything is combined with it. It's kind of a new organic thing, and it's a few steps removed from what it was in my head when I wrote it. So that was fascinating for me and really enjoyable. Where's that?